My name is Rebecca and I'm the head of school here at Potrero Kids. So I'm welcoming you on a virtual tour of our PK3 campus. That's our lower school down in the dog patch, and I'm going to invite you to come in and take a look around with me. I'm going to give a wave to Erica here at the front desk. She is our operations specialist helping us manage the day-to-day logistics of our school. And I'm going to invite you into our lobby to get a little look around at this cozy, welcoming space that we're going to be using more and more as we get further out of pandemic restrictions. But for now, I'm just going to tell you a little bit about our program and where we came from. So Patriot Kids was founded back in 2005 as a way to save the elementary school up on Potrero Hill called Daniel Webster. There were not a lot of local neighborhood families interested in attending that school because they didn't have a connection to it. So the preschool was a way to get families with young children connected with that community, and it worked. It expanded rapidly. So we have still 2 bungalow buildings up there that are connected and serve as an extra large classroom for about 38 children up at that campus. And that tends to be our older children, ranging in age from about 3 to 5. And this campus here at PK3 is a wider span of ages. We have 2 classes for 2-year-olds here as well, and we do go all the way up to 5-year-olds with a pre-K classroom as well down here. So I'll just give you the highlights of our program. Basically, our areas of focus are Spanish infusion. We're leaning more and more into Spanish immersion, but we still do incorporate some English language during the day, but our priority is to educate kids into a second language for those who aren't already Spanish speakers. And the vast majority of our staff are native Spanish speakers and in doing a lot of their instruction and projects in Spanish, so the children learn that way. Another important component of our program is our project-based curriculum. So we really let the students lead with their interests. They choose something that they're into, transportation, animals, whatever it is, and the teachers build projects and activities around that. That can include anything from art projects to building projects to even going out on local field trips and exposing kids to their interests directly. And speaking of what's around our school, we are really lucky to have a vibrant community here in the So another important focus of our program is connecting children and their families with the community around us. I like to joke that when families enroll with us, if they wanted to have 20 new close friends, this is the place to do it. They spend a lot of time, obviously the children get to know each other, but the families tend to do a lot of community events together, spend time together, weekends, and exploring the neighborhood together, doing different events. And we're really lucky to have Crane Cove Park directly across the street from our PK3 campus, so families meet up there a lot. Once a month we have an early closure staff meeting for our teachers to have a chance to do professional development. And on those days, the families leave a little bit early and tend to hang out together and build those relationships. So it's a very tight community we're lucky to have here at Patriot Kids. So now that I've welcomed you into our school, I'm going to welcome you into our classroom. So come with me down our hallway, and I'm going to show you around. This right here is our classroom called Green Room, so come on in. This is our oldest age group at this campus at PK3. You can see right now that they're out and about on a local playground walk and all set up for nap time. So I'm just going to tell you a little bit about how the daily schedule works here at Patriot Kids. So first of all, we're a year-round school. We just take a couple weeks off at winter break and 1 week off in summer, but other than that, we're here serving our families year-round other than a few holidays. Our daily schedule is 8 a.m. to 5:45 p.m. So during the course of a normal day, children are coming early in the morning, usually between 8 a.m. and 9:15, and as they arrive, they have breakfast provided for them or some kind of little snack if they get here hungry. And then after that, most of the classrooms are pretty much transitioning into a circle time. So they all have really lovely large area rugs where they can gather in as a class, as a community in a circle, learn new vocabulary words, sing songs, talk about the plan for the day. And then after that, they break up into either smaller groups or their whole group to do different activities and projects together. And for the remainder of the day after that, there's a lot of opportunity for children to explore at their own pace. So it's not a lot of teacher-directed activity. Teachers are always supporting and helping and guiding where needed, but really the teachers are trying to allow the children to do an activity like this where they're exploring some new elements and some new materials and learning things like colors and textures and talking with one another, and most importantly, building the social skills that we really focus on here. We are not academically oriented. We're really socially oriented. We want the children to graduate from our school not necessarily having academic skills, but more the skills interpersonally that set them up to learn as they enter kindergarten. So of course we are teaching numbers, colors, letters, but we're really focusing on, can they listen to one another? Can they express their feelings? Can they share? Can they take turns? Those are the important things, and we are here to support that growth as they go through their day, their weeks, their months, and their years with us. So in the middle of the day, the children have a lunch period. Lunch is provided here at Patriot Kids, as well as breakfast and snacks when needed throughout the day. So our lunch program is from an outside vendor, and they have a rotating menu of things every month. Families all get a menu of what's going to be served. And for now, because we're still under some pandemic restrictions, the children are not eating family style, but they're served their individual lunch tray, which always has a variety of foods, and we support lots of different food needs. So vegetarians, kids that don't eat gluten, anything related to allergies, we really support and keep children safe here and well fed so that they can be feeling energized and supported throughout their day. And then after that, all classrooms have a nap time. Some children are too old to nap, and we always support children's unique needs in that way and make it flexible, but they either way have some kind of quiet resting time to recuperate from their busy morning and then segue into a really nice afternoon that includes outdoor time, more playtime, and pickup, as I said, is by 5:45. And by the end of that long day, they've spent all their energy and they're ready to head home to you tired and ready for a good night's sleep. So next I'm going to take you into our slightly older classroom, our yellow room, so you can come actually follow me this way. These classrooms share a bathroom, and you can see that it's very open so that teachers can always supervise and assist where necessary. This classroom, our yellow room, is serving ages around 3 and 4 years old, and similar setup, having a nice area for circle times and rug meetings together, and lots of spaces for small group play and all sorts of different materials. And what I'm going to give you a peek at next is our outdoor space, so you have a sense of what's here. We have a nice sandbox area that the children love, and then we have this very long sort of runway, I like to think of it as. It's narrow, but it really gives the children an opportunity to just run back and forth and kick balls and get their energy out and play games with their teachers. And what's nice about this space is it's very insulated and protective. It keeps the kids close together playing. But now that Crane Cove Park across the space has been completed, we call that our school's unofficial front yard now. So on days where they want to have some extra playtime, or it's beautiful and sunny like it is today, they can head out through the gate and be in a beautiful city park, exploring a wider space, lots of open space to run around. So we make good use of our neighborhood and our resources around us. So lastly, I'd like to take you to see our motor room space. So we are lucky to have a really nice, large, indoor, flexible, multi-purpose space. Obviously, it's San Francisco, so we get those rainy, cold days. And what this does is give our students the chance to play somewhere inside. So our motor room space is also a space we can use for our enrichment classes. So the kids are lucky to have the opportunity to do gymnastics or yoga or music, and this provides a nice indoor space where they can play, especially with gymnastics. We have some great materials for them to use in here. And just on days where it's rainy or sometimes we get those smoky air days, this can be an indoor recess spot for them. And we are still really following COVID guidelines as much as we can. So we are keeping doors open and air ventilation going and trying to keep kids outdoors as much as we can. Obviously, when we're using a space like this, we're always having children still wearing masks inside and keeping ventilation good. And all around the school in general, we're following those guidelines. Aside from having children practice good mask wearing and our staff doing the same, we're making sure that the families and our staff are checking our health every day before we arrive on site. We're following all the CDC guidelines for any symptoms that we should be aware of and having everyone stay home when they have the slightest suspicion of not feeling their best. So we're just trying to stay on top of whatever happens in the future with guidelines changing and very much hoping that things will be fully back to normal soon. But we've been so cautious that we've had absolutely no cases of COVID spreading through our schools in this entire year and a half we've been in so far. So hopefully by the time you all are looking to start with us, these days will be behind us. And speaking of you starting with us, I would love it for you to take a look at our website and check on the dates of when to apply. We're going to be offering some virtual Zoom tours to give you more information about the school. We have video tours like this, and we're always available for questions via email and phone calls. And we will allow families to come for a brief peek-in, to come into our yard, look into the classrooms, to just connect with us and get a vibe for how life at Potrero Kids feels. So please hit us up with any questions. We would love to give you whatever information you need so that you can get to know us and see if we're the right match for your family.